Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're here in Coventry. With me, Sky Sports' very own Johnny Nelson. Johnny, not blue skies, but the weather's all right.
It's a nice little setup outside. It's nice and warm. If I'm honest with you, it's the first time I've been to Coventry. It's actually not bad. Nice little setup. So I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, it's what I think it's called the breakthrough or breakout fights on Saturday night. A lot of the youngsters kind of showcase their talent. I think top of the bill, Adam Azim, and then obviously Sam Egerton on the card. But yeah, good little opportunity for these up and coming who probably wouldn't get these kind of slots on Sky Sports and Parks.
And that to me is what this is all about. That's what that box is about. Is what Sky's new mentality is about. Give an opportunity to guys that probably didn't have one in the first place because they're outshone by bigger stars. Now you're giving them a chance to become big stars. So I like it. I do like it. You know, and this is usually what happens is when you have boxing shows, people forget who's on the undercard, and then all of a sudden you think, oh my God, where did this guy come from? Now you're getting a chance to see these guys. They are the main feature to say, right, we're going to be top dog. We've got the opportunities. Give any fighter an opportunity, and he's going to try and take it. So these guys are getting the opportunities.
Anyone in particular you're looking forward to, or you think can go on and achieve great things?
I'm interested to see how Adam goes on. I am interested just because there's excitement there. He's a golden goose. Everybody's going crazy, and I thought, you know what? So far, so good. If you can take this to a higher level, I think this will be his 5th professional fight. You take this to a higher level, you will be a star. But sometimes people are big in their own kitchen, and when they step out of the kitchen, that's when they get exposed. If he can take that big in the domestic level, don't make that his aim, or European level, make a world level, take this bundle right there, this guy's going to be mad. So again, I'm interested to see how the journey rolls on.
Is there pressure now, Johnny? There's so many platforms now offering boxing, Channel 5, Dazn, BT, Sky, and a lot of criticism recently on some shows when the undercard has been running thin. Is there enough talent in the pool to fulfill obligations from these broadcasters?
The talent is there, but the opportunity has now arisen. Because there's so many people all of a sudden getting involved in boxing, so many broadcasters, now they need the fighters they rejected. Now they need the fighters to fill it in, because you can't just rock up to a show and put a headline on and expect to charge people £150 ringside for one fight. They need a show. They need something to think, you know what, I've got my money's worth here. So now it's payback.
Let's move on. Obviously, last week some big news came out. I spoke to you 2 weeks ago at the Richard Riakporhe fight week about Anthony Joshua's next move.
You know what? He's done what's better. I'm speaking from a prize fighter's mentality, and he's done what's financially best for him as far as he's concerned, and that's what he's done. And he's managed to marry the two. He's part of the performance and part of the business itself. That works for him. Yes, of course it's sad because Sky. You're used to seeing Anthony Joshua in Sky, but you're still going to see him. One way or another, you're still going to get access to seeing him. So to me, good luck to whatever he does in his future. You know, I'd probably, if I wasn't, I don't know if I'm going to try and get out to Saudi Arabia to try and watch the fight myself. If not, I'll sit in the comfort of my own home. I will watch it. I will be there rooting for him. So nothing changes. It's just the viewing platforms change.
A lot of people said, you know, where was his loyalty to Sky Sports, who kind of built him up, etc. But when it comes to this stage in your career, do you have to look at yourself and what's better for yourself?
That's right. But I know a lot of fighters that in their day, they were the bee's knees. Everybody was all over them. The second they're retired and gone, nobody cares. You see fighters that are standing there fighting like warmongers, getting hit in the head. And then when they punch strong, can't tie their shoelaces, and all taught to say their own name, where are the fans then? So right now, yes, I understand, give the fans what they want, but your priority is you. You do what's best for you. And that's what most fighters would think. Like, from a business point of view, yes, of course. You know, you did say, you know what, they've done this X, Y, Z for you, but he's probably thinking, realistically, how many fights left has he got? So, if I'm at this stage in my life, in my career, I'm going to make the most of it.
We know the last couple of months, Sky have got, you know, better off than Dazn with signing a lot of fighters, especially from the Olympics, etc. Was there anything else that Sky could have done to retain Joshua on their platform? Because surely having him on your platform gives you a big audience.
I understand that, but Sky Boxing was there before Anthony Joshua. It'll be there when Anthony Joshua is finished. Sky Joshua married the talent of Anthony Joshua with the platform they had. Why can't they do it again? Is there anything they could have done? I'm quite sure Dazn threw everything in the kitchen sink at him. So, they thought, you know what, if you're going to do that, you do what's best for you. But as I said, Sky Boxing was there before Anthony Joshua, and it'll be there after Anthony Joshua. So they know the formula, they know what works, and as time will always tell.
Rumours are, I'm not sure how true this is, he's a brand ambassador, special ambassador, he's a shareholder. Did Dazn just throw the kitchen sink to ensure that they landed him?
Listen, the owner's worth 64 billion. My man's ploughing money into it. He's a businessman. Eventually, if that money's not paying off, he's going to say, stop. So the guys that are there at the moment, they've got to make hay while the sun shines. And if it starts paying for itself, it starts pulling it in, then yeah, great, good. If it doesn't, at least everybody around at this particular moment has benefited.
Do you think he will get the same audience? We know on Sky he gets 1 million, close to 1 million, just over 1 million at times. Would he get anywhere near that number on DAZN?
Anthony Joshua has a different fan base than most fighters. So, your granny that don't even watch boxing, they love Anthony Joshua. So I'm quite sure he has that crossover appeal. So I'm quite sure he will command a massive audience. But honestly, I think Sky is that platform that it's hard to match. And if you do beat the numbers that Sky do when they throw the kitchen sink at it, promoting something, it's a one-off. So I think on a regular, no, I don't think the numbers would beat Sky, but I ain't a businessman. I'm just an ex-fighter. I'm seeing what you see. This is my personal opinion. But I think Anthony Joshua. The problem is, how many times, and I've said it before, are you going to walk in the pub and see DAZN on the TV? How many times are you going to walk in the pub and see Sky on the TV? You understand? And so it's about access. It's about saying, you're going to have an element of people that just think, I can't find it. I'm quite sure I can name 3 or 4 fighters and say, do you know when the last fight was? And they don't know. And it's just about access and letting people know. And Sky have actually got that down to a T where they can cross advertise when football's on, when rugby's on, when cricket's on. They can tell you XYZ is boxing next week, and that's how they trickle in the opponent, in the fans.
We know, obviously, we just mentioned DAZN have thrown everything to land Joshua. Alexander Usyk is not a walkover. This second fight is a tough fight. If he loses, does his value to DAZN decrease?
Anthony Joshua? I don't know. I'm sure they've taken these things into account, and I'm sure he has got a plan B. And listen, it's a big ask. I don't think it's an impossible ask. I really think Anthony Joshua can turn it around. I really do. And it's a gamble. Remember when he lost to Ruiz? Everybody said he's crazy getting back in with him. That's it and done. But what he did, and the majority of people, if they're not saying it to your face, think Anthony Joshua's going to lose. But in reality, how many prepared for him to win? Ricky Hatton, when he boxed Costa Zoo, people thought he'd lose. Ricky Hatton and his close team were probably one of the few people that made a plan B for when they get the win. So I'm quite sure Anthony Joshua has done the same. He and his team, he's got a good tight team around him. They know what's best for them.
Alexander Usyk, what did you make of his kind of mindset and demeanour the other day? The press conference took place in Saudi Arabia after everything that he's gone through with this country.
Usyk is a very serious individual. Usyk will try and play the clown and play, the boy next door kind of guy. He's not that guy. He's a very serious guy, and so therefore getting in with Anthony Joshua, he might try and be pally, but he knows it's a serious fight in his hands. And he's not Anthony Joshua's friend, and he's an elite athlete. He's a good fighter. Now he's stepped up to heavyweight, and now Anthony Joshua needs to right a wrong as far as he's concerned in his head. He tried to beat a man at his own game, and the risks were high, and he paid the price. So now he's got to beat him at his own game. Anthony Joshua's got to go in there and do what he does, and Alexander's got to go in there and do what he does. I don't expect Alexander Usyk to go in there, and manhandle and rough up and beat up Anthony Joshua. It's got to be, tick-tock timing and then breaking down slowly but surely. He's not that. He hasn't got that physicality Anthony Joshua has. So we know what Anthony Joshua's got to do. It's a case of what Anthony Joshua is deciding to do.
Do you feel like Joshua was a lot more confident, more relaxed, being kind of the underdog on the top table the other day?
I've heard many times that fighters that have been unbeaten, I know Anthony Joshua's not beaten, but I've heard fighters that have been unbeaten in the past, once that all's gone, they feel like there's a weight off the shoulder. And I'm quite sure if you're there and your expectations aren't there where you think, and you think to yourself, people aren't expecting him to win, so now this is where I can turn it on. So, you know what, I'm quite sure he's got the right mindset. Listen, Anthony Joshua's been boxing from the age of 18, so for what he's achieved, people are forgetting to give him credit for what he's achieved. So even if he loses, you've got to look at his career and think, well, the kid did well. To say, his depth in boxing wasn't like everybody else has been boxing from a kid.
Usyk talked about undisputed and talked about how he wanted to become the undisputed champion. Tyson Fury says he's retired, says the only thing that's going to get him out of bed is someone puts half a bill. Half a bill. Your kind of bank balance.
Yeah, I wish. Listen, I don't think many people believe Tyson Fury's done for good. I think no matter what Tyson says, I think people aren't buying it. And it's how you hike up the price. And Tyson Fury keeps saying, I'm a fighting man. It's in my blood, that's what I do. So he's kind of contradicting who he is and what he is, if that is the case. At this moment in time today, he doesn't want to fight. Let's talk about it next year. Let's talk about it when it's out there for us.
Does it have to happen? Obviously, August 20th. I know Joshua Usyk got to set up the business, but does the winner, does Tyson Fury have to come back? Does the winner have to fight? Does it have to happen for the sake of boxing?
Tyson Fury's proved everything he has to prove. And of course, time will go on, and you'll say, "Oh, well, could he have beaten him? Could have beaten him?" Lennox Lewis had that when he beat Klitschko. Yeah, but would he have beaten X, Y, Z? And he said, "I'm done. I've proved everything." So Tyson Fury's put himself in that position. He don't have to fight.
But don't you think Lennox Lewis clearly said himself that before the Vitali fight? I said I was going to be done after this. Whether the cut happened, people say, look, a cut happened and it was a rough fight.
But the amount of temptation that was put in front of him to get back in the ring was massive.
But his resume is completely different to Fury, isn't it?
Yeah, but they dangle $1 million carrots in front of you. When you quit, when you're done, and as far as you're concerned, you've ticked every box, you're done. So it don't matter what you tell me, I'll pay you X, Y, Z, I'm done. So that's it. And I think Tyson Fury, I don't believe Tyson Fury's done. And he kind of contradicts himself in the conversation. He said, off me half a bill, I'll do. He ain't done. When you're done, you're done. Because he's a wealthy man. He don't need to fight. And his grandkids and his great-grandkids will be all right. So you know what? I just think he ain't done, man. He don't talk like he's done.
Just quickly, a lot of back and forth yesterday we saw between Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. It looks like that fight's going to take place August 6th. Yet to be officially confirmed, but from the way they were talking, it looks like that fight's about 6 weeks away. What are your thoughts?
Good. I'm interested. I think Jake Paul, out of all the YouTubers, you've got to now respect. You've got to give him respect as a fighter. Like him or not, like his delivery or not, the guy, he's a fighter. He's just getting the adulation and the headlines of somebody that's a world champion, and so it might piss a few people off, but he actually can fight. So give credit where credit's due. And Tommy Fury's in there. He's thinking, I've got a chance to make some decent money. I think it's $2 million. Turn him over. So you've either got respect or disrespect. And so I actually don't scoff it. I think Tommy can. I think he can fight.
You give Jake a chance?
Yeah, I do. I think he can fight, and that's what I said. It's hard to swallow because of the background they come from. But I think Jake can fight, and he'll only get better. And it's a case of how much he wants it and how serious he is.
Jordan Nelson, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Give me the bird.
Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.